And we have returned. You're listening to CSC Talk Radio. You know, we have fun time during the commercial breaks. And we were talking about several different things, but I was just telling my sidekick here and my producer that I get these texts from Old Navy when they have a sale going on. And I'm always telling my husband, hey, I got hugs and kisses from Old Navy. And I just got thinking about it. I believe they're groping me with the alphabet. They're sending hugs and kisses, X's and O's from Old Navy. We should find a lawyer. I'm sure they can help me after about 6 days and figure that one out. All right, get back to seriousness. When should we take a stand? Should we take a stand? Of course we should. We should not be putting up with this carnival, with this zoo that the Democrats are pushing on us, or when the Republicans do it. They're just not as the president said, they're not as good at it. And they really aren't. But Ted Cruz and his wife were harassed and threatened when they were at a restaurant earlier this week and chased out. They were threatened with, "We will find you." This Antifa group, and I don't know how they knew they were Antifa because they didn't have their faces covered. So how'd they know they were Antifa? I don't know. But they were angry Antifa, an angry Antifa mob, and they chased Senator Cruz and his wife out of this restaurant. I wonder why they're not naming the restaurant. Anyway, they had this, thanks to the cell phones, it was all recorded. "We believe survivors. We believe survivors." They kept shouting at them. "We believe survivors." Well, I got a tickle all of a sudden. Lord must be telling me something. What bothered me is no citizen got up and stopped it. No citizen walked out. Or maybe they did and they didn't show that. I'm pretty certain that Antifa probably doesn't necessarily go to this restaurant very often. So why didn't the restaurant manager do something about it? Maybe Ted's not a good tipper. I don't know. But we should not be putting up with this. That's not free America. And that's not what freedom of speech is either. This is called harassment. And it's against the law. Last I knew, it was against the law to constantly go after somebody, to get in their face and harass them. Now, I don't think it's a crime as far as a felony or anything like that. But why didn't somebody stand up and do something? Or why didn't others walk out of that restaurant? I don't like Senator Claire McCaskill one little bit. But if I saw her being approached like that, I want to think that I would have at least stood up and said, "This is wrong." But nobody did. To my knowledge, nobody did. Would you, America? Would you be empowered to stand up for what is right and stand against what is wrong? I'm concerned that we don't. I'm concerned that we are caught up in our own lives and we're not worried about the other guy. We don't want to get involved. I remember when I was a kid. I was really little, and they had it all on video. I don't remember what state it was in. It was in some downtown area. And this woman was being beaten. Nobody did anything about it. Nobody. They shut their windows. They shut their doors. They didn't want to be involved. I didn't raise my kids like that. I react too fast a lot of times. But when are we going to be the Americans that stand up for what is right and stand against what is wrong? What we're seeing unfold with this hearing, the Democrats started out At the very beginning, the very first day, interrupting, complaining, griping. And now we see the plot. We can keep this from being done until 2020. Now that's confidence, don't you think? On Senator Hirono's part. Why would they want to do that? Because, as I mentioned to you a few days ago and several months ago, it is a civil war. The socialists have taken your country. And the Americans who believed in independence and freedom have sat back and allowed it to happen. This Senator Hirono is disgusting. Somebody said, I wonder what her husband thought when she yelled and said all men need to sit down and shut up. We need to believe this woman. Not only do we need to listen to her, she needs to be believed, she said, over and over and over again. No, she doesn't. Why does she need to be believed any more than Brett Kavanaugh, whose life has been a good life, doing good things? When was the last time Senator Hirono fed the poor, fed the hungry? When was the last time she did any volunteer work without a camera following her around? Or Senator Feinstein, or Maxine Waters, or Nancy Pelosi, or many of the Republicans. When was the last time that these public servants actually did something for the public? Well, the Democrats are the ones pushing this right now, and I've got to find it here. I keep losing my papers. But they want to bring back earmarks. How many of you remember the earmarks? I really have lost my paper. I'll tell you what, I just lose everything. The earmarks are so that they can spend money. Here it is. I buried it. Democrat lawmakers in the House and the Senate suggest resurrecting earmarks. But I suggested maybe we should notch their ears and tattoo or brand them as to know who owns them. Are you listening to what they're saying, America? So while we're chasing some lies from some, and I'm going to call her a bimbo, that's not nice, but everyone she's claimed should know what happened doesn't know what happened and said that it didn't happen. So I think nothing more of it than she's lying. Kavanaugh was at least a gentleman and said it could be a matter of mistaken identity. But Democrats are floating around the idea of reinstating the budgetary earmarks as a way of build support for funding the government on time. But some of their Republican counterparts are not so happy about that. They're a little skeptical. Well, I would hope they'd be skeptical. He said, I don't know who's going to be in the majority next year. This is coming from Senator Patrick Leahy, a Democrat from Vermont. He said, well, obviously, I hope Democrats are. Well, obviously. But whatever it is and whoever it is, I want to continue to do this. Now, earmarks, which were banned under the House rules in 2010, allow taxpayer money to be directed to special interests and projects in members' districts through the budget. Now you know what an earmark is, and now you know why they want them reinstated. Payo. They want money. These are the ones that support them. You know, it's been said that they should be like NASCAR, and they should be wearing suits letting us know who's sponsoring them. If somebody proposes something, they've got to have their name on it. And we've got to vote on it, Leahy says. But I've never understood why the Congress has the power of the purse. We won't really say how it's spent. Seriously, they don't. We'll just turn this over to whoever's in the White House, Republican or Democrat. Now, this guy doesn't know his Constitution, does he? He doesn't understand what it means, the power of the purse. What they are supposed to be doing is guarding your tax dollars, not spending your tax dollars on special interest groups in their home state. So while we're all on the edge of our seats, worried about Miss Ford having been groped 36 years ago, the Democrat lawmakers are wanting to bring back earmarks because it brings more money to them, more power for they're losing their elections. So this will bring back more power for the elections. Now, some of the others are not as supportive of this. With our national debt surpassing $21 trillion, Congress, they need to focus on cutting wasteful and unnecessary spending rather than finding new ways to spend money. And that's actually coming from a guy I don't really like, Senator Jeff Flake from Arizona. In order to get your pet projects, you have to accept those of your colleagues, no matter how ridiculous they might be. That's what the earmarks are. I offered countless anti-earmark amendments in the House that failed and witnessed the Senate's overwhelming vote to spend hundreds of millions of dollars building the bridge to nowhere in Alaska, proving that transparency alone is not enough to stop senseless spending. Boy, we haven't heard about that bridge in a long time.